Okay, let's try this take two. I am so excited to be showing you my new Esterbrook Peanuts collection. I ordered right from Esterbrook on October 20th, the day they were released. And since I ordered from Esterbrook, I got the nice little bag that is given out at some events, but they included that in my order, so included in the price. And then I got something from every one of the characters. For Lucy and for Snoopy, I decided to go with these little clips. I was going to open everything on camera, and then I decided they were so well packaged, there was no way I could do that and not look like a fumbling pen enthusiast. So this is the Snoopy one. All you need is love, a dog, and a clip. And then it says hold tight. And it really is some pretty good strength on that clip. And it holds the paper nice and flat. And it's got some heft to it. So I don't think it would have any trouble holding my Hobonichi. It looks cute across from my Coffee Monsters Co. clip. And I really am pleased with the weight of that clip. So that's Snoopy in his cute little box. The next one I got was Lucy. And then it's Lucy on the inside of the box with the same quote, all you need is love, a dog, and a clip. And then same thing, you could do some serious damage if you flung that at somebody. But it's really well done. The Peanuts is debossed in here. I don't think Lucy's in any danger of coming off. And a couple of these clips, and I don't know, when you clip these on the side of your journal, it's just happy. That's all there is to it. So those were the clips. I'm going to put those off to the side. Maybe I'll put them next to my Coffee Monsters Co. Bob the Blobs. So Bob always needs friends. And then the two pens I went with, one was the Charlie Brown, because who can resist? And the other one is the Sally. So this is the Charlie Brown. Comes in this cool box. Becoming part of Peanuts World has never sounded so fun. And then Dear Pen Pal, Dear Pen, Rats, Dear Pencil Pal. Now we don't go for the pencil, but with the Esterbrook tool pen, maybe Charlie Brown wouldn't have been so frustrated. Each pen is specially designed to add vintage flair and Peanuts charm with every stroke of your pen. So one thing about Esterbrook, their packaging is top notch. So let's just go over the packaging. Cartridge I'll never use. The little teeny registration. All you need is love, a dog, and a pen. And then the side of the box has all the Peanuts characters. Well, a lot of the Peanuts characters. There's more than that. And then I know this is a shirt that's supposed to be a pen rag. I don't think that'll happen. But I happen to have a Snoopy that I think these shirts is going to fit just fine on Snoopy. So that's going to be cute on Snoopy or tucked in the box. And then this is the Estie that I got. Now I have some other Esties that I will be showing you as well, just to do a little side by side. Okay, child-proof packaging here. My little nephew could probably open this no problem. Now, this pen is a different price point than a lot of the Esties. It's a lower price point, but I got to tell you, it's got a pretty good weight to it. It's actually heavier than my Coffee Monsters Co. Estie, and it's heavier than my Kingfisher too. So it's got a nice weight to it. If any of you have ever seen those cake plates and things that are made out of the coated metal, this really reminds me of it. But again, it's got the debossed Peanuts on the clip, and then Charlie Brown is debossed too, and just really well manufactured. I don't see a single bit of Charlie Brown's head that's outside of there. I love that the top of this is on an angle. Now this is just a sharp pen. No problem unscrewing the cap there. And then one of the things that sold me, besides the adorable, that won't focus, good grief on the nib, this one I got in a medium, is that Esterbrook designed this part as resin and this part is the metal, and it is super comfortable in the hand. So first blush, I'm geeked about this pen. I mean, it's got a good heavy weight, and I am very happy with the pattern. And like I said, this is really nice material. So that's my Charlie Brown pen. And then this is the one. Okay, Charlie Brown was not an afterthought, but he was not the first one I was wanting. The first one I was wanting is this Sally. Another cartridge that will just pop over to the side. Is this not an adorable combination of colors? The polka dot of Sally's dress, the orange with it is, I think, a really sharp combination. And then here's the clip that's got the debossed peanuts, and then Sally. And again, I mean, it's just the attention to detail. That pattern couldn't be any nicer. There's nothing that's outside the line. The Peanuts 75th anniversary is on the end cap here. Finial, I think it's called. And then it's more of an apricot than an orange, but it is really sharp. And I got Sally in a fine nib because those were the two nibs that were offered. And they're the same nib as the rest of the Esties. But again, this is just very sharp material. I don't think there's anything that's going to rub off or be a problem there. It's pretty smooth, although I feel the little, no, do I feel bumps? No, I just feel how nice it is. And then the resin for where the grip is just a really nice touch. And then they all come with the cartridge converters as well. So no problem with whatever kind of ink you want to put in here. And then set that off in my fountain pendulum stand there. And then, oh, is that not adorable? Okay, none of those boxes are going to go anywhere but in the cupboard with the other ones. I would never get rid of the boxes. This is Sally's little pen cloth that will never see ink in my collection. And I was thinking of some different inks for these pens, and so I have a couple of Colorverse inks that I'm thinking the Colorverse USA Aloha Hawaii is going to go in my Sally pen. And then, I don't know if the rest of you matchy with your pens too, but I am thinking perhaps this Robert Oster Peach, because I want it to be able to be legible when it's writing, and I think the Southwest Sunset is a little too light. So I'm going to ink these up and come back and we'll see what they look like. Well, I've got to tell you, these clips are great. This is a notebook that has quite a few pages, holds it fine, holds it flat, holds it in the frame, using my adorable box as inspiration there. And let's get going. So I've got Charlie Brown all inked up, and I use the Everyday Explorer stamp set to talk about my new pens. Actually, I'm going to move the box over. So this is pen number 19. And I've got to tell you, the Esterbrook pens are just super smooth, and I didn't think I really had a preference, but I seem to have a lot of Esterbrook pens in my collection. So this is let's see, Let's see here. Too much. Esterbrook. And peanuts. Estie. This adorable nib is a medium. And this is Charlie Brown. Inked with Robert Oster. Peach. And hang on there, Charlie. Use my little ink muddler here just to fill in my bottle. I found that I really like to watch ink dry. Okay, so that one didn't go as well on camera, but I filled out my new pen. It's got that part filled out, and then I did a little swatch, and then I just said when I heard about this collection in the Esterbrook Discord, I was hooked. I learned that Charles Schultz drew peanuts with an Esterbrook nib. I loved the checkerboard pattern and knew that Charlie Brown would be part of my collection. So I've got to say, I was really happy with how this pen felt in my hand. I was pretty pleased with how it wrote. It's got a medium nib, so it writes a little bigger than sometimes I would want, but I think it worked well with this ink because kind of a juicy ink too, and it behaved well. I really like, again, I like the weight of this pen for a pen that I was able to use my discount on. It was under $120. I think it feels very substantial, and I'm very pleased. So now we're going to move on to Sally. So I have to admit that the ink I picked for Sally might not have been the best for a fine nib, but it sure was nice for a color match. And this is that Colorverse Aloha glistening ink. So I shook it up pretty good when I put it in, but I'm going to shake it up again because I'm going to put a little swatch down. And Sally is too adorable not to be inked with pink. So I think that I'm okay here in frame if I don't move it now. So maybe this is, you can tell it's a fine nib. Pen number 20. So it is pretty light ink, but I'm okay with that because I can still read it. That's the big thing, right? And this is an Estie. Sally. That actually could have been in the color. It's a fine nib. And it's inked with USA. Aloha. So I did turn Bob the Blob around, but I'm out of frame anyway, so move it up just a little bit. And I had to use my pink muddler because I'm using pink ink and it's just cute. Okay, I'm going to write my thoughts down and then I'll be back after that. Final wrap up. Okay, so I've finished my thoughts writing with this pen. I did try posting it briefly, and although it was okay, it was a little weighty back here. So either way, I think it's fine, but I wrote with it unposted for the most part. Love this pen. So what I said is when the collection was released, I knew Sally would be added to my collection. I could not resist the pink polka dots. I'm very happy that Sally is my 20th fountain pen. It seems fitting that an Esterbrook is a milestone pen. Love this happy pen. And I say that it's fitting because my very first pen, this is my very first fountain pen. And when I said I think I have a type, seeing that a quarter of my pens are Esterbrook Esties. That was my first Estie. And then Esterbrook is how I met Helen and the Coffee Monsters Co., which is now another one of my loves. This was my second Estie. This is one with a fine nib. I was sitting on a bench in Animal Kingdom when it was released, and with my hot little fingers trying as hard as I could to get a journaler that was snatched from my cart, and I got that one. So my third Esterbrook was the elusive journaler. Of course, I'm showing you my swirls, how different they are. I got a notification from the Esterbrook Discord while I was in the air flying from Michigan to Dallas, and Delta's Wi-Fi did not let me down, and I was able to get that pen and add it to my collection. And then when I was at the Detroit Pen Show at the start of the month, wow, I can't believe how the month is flying, I was able to add this beautiful Kingfisher pen to my collection. This has Kirk Spear Cursive Smooth Italics grind on it. And so this was my fourth. Okay, it's more than 20% of my collection. So this was Charlie Brown is my fifth Estie. Okay, Houston, I have a problem. Sally is my sixth Estie. So that is my Esterbrook collection. I have got to say that everyone is a beauty. Kirk Spear also just tuned and smoothed this nib for me too. I have not inked it yet because honestly, I have a lot of pens inked right now. So my Esterbrook collection, what we were focusing on today was my two newest, Charlie Brown and Sally. My Bob the Blobs. Hold them pretty nice. I'm very pleased with those. Love the clips. They worked great holding my paper down. And thanks for watching. Now I've got to figure out how to edit something. So wish me luck.